because I think that chemistry is so hard to break through on stage.
Chemistry is absolutely key. Let's give a shout out to Plundo. 28 points and 14 rebounds. We're going to go ahead and switch over to the other games. The game that we've been talking about, Reloaded, I believe, versus Slight Work. But Plundo, man, 28 points and 14 rebounds.
Yeah, man, that's what Plondeezy does, man. One of the best offensive big men that you'll find anywhere. Defense, you know, needs a good power forward next to him, but man, oh man, can that guy shoot.
Yeah, no, he absolutely can. As we're going to try to get to the other game, and here it is. Slight Work, down 3.
Yeah, Reloaded here with an early 12-9 lead. You already see the impact that Ramo is making. 4 offensive boards, 3 points, 2 assists. That's what the man does, man. Ramo's all about it.
I can't believe people say Plondo's not a top center. Like, yeah, he may not be top 3, but to tell the man that he's not top 10, disrespectful.
Tell that to the Bucks last year, my friend. How'd that go? How'd that go? I believe we have the new Bucks GM and head coach. How'd that Bucks season go? They replaced the whole front office?
Well, listen. They got a nice class of gentlemen bringing them back in Milwaukee. Excited to see what Lance and Andrew do for the Bucks. By the way, it looks like somebody was going to get drafted simply because they told Andrew where to get lunch. We'll see if he holds up his word.
You know, it's funny. I met Andrew for the first time last night at a bar, and I was trying to coerce some answers out of them. You know, they got pick 3, they got pick 4, they got pick 14, trying to see. And the only thing he told me, I was like, what are you looking for here? He's like, guards. Guards.
He should hit up Len.
We know who the Bucks are looking for.
If there's anyone that loves to give up guards,
Len ran out of shooting guards to trade. He's already traded 4 in 2 years.
Hey, you just wait. That man's going to get a guard in the draft and trade him right away.
We can see it already. Jaden and Ramo starting to yell at this Reloaded team a little bit. You know that they're going to bring that intensity.
You bet they absolutely are. You've got Seem trying to find a little bit of space. Has to chuck that one up. Not going to go offensive board by Polo, who's going to get it to the left-hand side, and that's going to get blocked. Gets it back to Polo. I do not think, Harris, that we've got Polo on a popper.
Dude, Majestic is everywhere right now. Yeah, but Gradient just pointed it out in the chat. This is one of the reasons why Majestic is probably going to get picked again in the league. His defense is just so ridiculous. He's flying all over the place, causing turnovers, creating steals. He's a great player. Watching him play kind of reminds me of a free safety, if you will, right? Troy Polamalu, if you will. Yep. Just kind of everywhere, no matter what it is. I'll guard ball, I'll guard off, I'll guard corner, I'll guard pick and roll, center, whatever you want, I'm there. As you've got Fab trying to make something happen. Ramo on the slip, nothing there. Fab feeling a little cold. Get a little nervous here. Gets it right back out to Jaden with a shot. Man, oh man, is that not a Fab move you've ever seen? It gets to the mid-range, know the shots is there. Patience. Finds the open shooter for 3. He doesn't need me to tell him how to play point guard. You've got Seemo looking to answer back, has to chuck it up, and that's going to be the end of that quarter. Tie it up at 14 apiece. You know, it's really interesting now that I'm thinking about it. You know, we wwere talking about KMT before. The last time half that KMT team was here, they won the turn on that very stage. I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to talk about CB winning that when it was time for them. But let's talk about that, right? This man, CB13, is familiar with the stage. And if you can do it in the past, you best believe you can do it again. Now, and you've got shots, obviously, down low this time. Well, Ramo's very familiar with this stage, as well as his Fab and all the other players who have played in the league. You know, right there, Seem as well. This is not his first time up there. You know, we talk about the stage. You know, the stage is like a general concept. But sometimes it's actually the specific stage that you're playing on. We were here 3 years ago with the league for the Season 2 turn. A lot of great players came out of that tournament. I don't know if you ever did this, Harris, but back when we were in middle school, did you ever kind of etch in anything, like at the desk that you were sitting, right? I have ADHD. So what do you think? So that's what I'm telling you. I bet you CB13, somewhere on this main stage, he's got CB13. He's getting a little hard around his name. CB13 was here. Hard. Was here. He's got the banner etched in. As we've got a 19-14 ball game here. Ramo with a nice easy 2, cutting the deficit down to 3. Charlie just carved the 2K League logo into the desk. This is my house now. Oh, man. Definitely got to ask him about if he's reminiscing those good old days. They had a chance to make some noise in the playoffs. Couldn't quite get to the finals like last year. Listen, the chat right now, look, you guys can hate on a lot of different players. Fab is not the consistent one that you should be throwing hate at. This is one of the best players in the history of 2K. Well, before we get to this listen-in, we've got the chat making fun of us, man. We're standing up and we've got chairs. I don't want to sit down. I don't either. We've got a great ball game here, and let's go ahead and check out that listen-in and see what the players have to say.
Let's go. He's scared. You scared.
I got to stay lower, though, because I know.
I already know. Play some fucking get up on the press. Hey, yeah. Listen, we on now press. Yeah. Come on.
Fab and Ramo, talk.
I got love.
I'm in front.
We left.
I got it, I
got ball. Play Seem.
Get left corner now.
Play Seem.
Pluck it.
Switch it. I got it. I got his right.
Triangle.
Good D. Son, just don't show it to him so fast. Don't show it to him.
Gotcha. Let's go bail out. Come back, circle.
10 seconds. Work, Jamie.
Good shit.
Very late.
Let's go, Rams.
Watch
I'm coming.
Shit.
Hey, run 2 man right here. Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Seven's off the grill. Coming up. Send to your left.
I'm cutting.
Let's go.
Come on, Fab. Come on, Fab.
X. Oh my God.
He's got 4.
Good shit.
He's got 4. Stay aggressive.
Hey, compete. Wrap up top.
Okay.
Send to your fucking face, man.
Circle.
X. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, switch, fam. Switch.
Yeah, I'm switching.
I got it.
Score that. Come here, Rams.
Wanna make something shake?
Oh, yeah!
Let's go!
Shit, Rams.
You can't fuck with me.
I'm back this way.
Back.
Right.
Let's
I'll
get
come up
stops,
next one,
y'all.
Compete. I'll come up next one. Talk on the rotation.
That's right.
He's rapping. Go, Ramo. Good D. He's dead.
Show me! Come on!
Watch the plug.
I'll come to you. Come here.
Come on, Rams.
Come on,
Back it.
I'm up.
We up now. Press, we in the press.
Play his left.
I'm on him. Just come on.
I got corner. I'm good.
Release.
I'm good. I'm in the middle.
Okay.
Play his left. Reverse. I'm good. Not getting ISO. 7, 6. Kick out. Oh, I got what the fuck you doing? What the fuck you doing? What are you doing? Come on.
Listen. 2, 3.
Left. I'm up top left. Compete. Come up. Watch the corner, Shock. Watch the corner. I jumped in. Right, so. All the way, Shock. Come on. Stop.
Get back, Jaden.
Stop. My mic's disconnected from my shit. I can't hear y'all.
I got left.
Rico, fix it for him. Right.
I can't hear y'all right now.
I got your middle. Talk loud.
Switch.
Switch. I'm on my
I got it.
I'm slow. No. 2 man.
Yes, good shit. Midi, yes.
Go
sir.
back.
Yeah, no, I'm trying.
Rico, do it for him.
All right.
Rico, let's play. Single.
I'm good.
I'm left.
Ramo, paint. Oh!
You're good.
I'm good.
I'm stepping out.
I'm good, Rams. He's good. I'm out. Go, Ramo. Shit.
They gave me a fucking bad animation.
We're good.
Hey, do the 2 man again. Watch the quick pop. You hear me?
Yeah.
You said you was playing high, so we got to rotate.
Drop Ramo. I'm gonna hop that leg.
Fuck, bro. That's big.
Harris, you gonna have to show me that you are built for the stage. And right now, Ramo is everywhere. When he mashes, he's gonna let you hear it.
That's a man who knows what it's like to play on stage, knows how to get in people's heads, just start to debilitate them. You know, it's not about intimidating your opponent. It's just about keeping them in the back of your head when you're trying to make that play. Because if you hesitate, you double take, you miss a second, that's when those mistakes start to happen, and that's what the pros know.
Speaking of double take, you've got take over here for Slightworker, whereas we got about 7 seconds left in the second quarter. Seem trying to make something happen. Tough matchup here for him. Is he going to take that shot from the top of the key? Open, but can't get it to go, and that's going to be the end of that half. Ramo, those listen-ins, wow. I mean, just the communication there is just insane. Rotations are on point. I got it. You go here, get mine, swing, Ramo, jump, this, that. It's just insane.
Yep.
I mean, that's the difference between the good teams and the teams that are kind of silent.
This is what they do, man. Again, it's slight work. You can't throw something at them that they haven't seen before. They've seen it all. They know it all. This is a team that has over 20 years of about 20 years of league experience between the entire roster. Not to mention their coach is Rico, who's been with the Celtics since season 2. I mean, it's a tough team to beat.
Easy steal there for Ramo, as that's going to start off the things out the third quarter here. I can still hear Ramo just barking every single time. Doesn't matter what it is.
That's what the man does.
1 point lead now for Slightwork. They were down, but Ramo, wow, ugly shot there. as that layup is going to get denied, and EG 400 is going to get fouled real quick.
Number 24. First personal foul.
I still can't believe people think Fab is trash in the chat. Come on.
And it's just this guy, unknown Boyelli.
Yeah.
Space Jam with the sweep. Thank you, Coach J.
Might be Rando. Seeing, trying to make something happen. That ball's going to be loose. He's got Badge. Hasn't been able to do much with it. That's the right corner. He's going to get a green out of it to make it a 2-point lead in their favor.
Number 31.
Yeah, big sweep for Space Jam. That also means that we finally know who the No Tolerance's first game is going to be against. They will play Space Jam in that second round.
Fab looking to make something happen here at the top of the key. Almost went out of bounds. Tries to dot the right corner, but instead it's going to be a foul. It looks like every single time EG 400 gets the ball, they just foul the man.
I mean, I would.
Excited to see how his 2K journey goes. Polo. You know, we talked about Polo a little bit. He's had some phenomenal games earlier in other tournaments where he's been able to get those offensive boards and those second chance opportunities for his team and really be the reason that they've won. That's what you expect. That's going to be a block from behind. I can't believe he even tried to go up with that one.
You got to love it. I love the off the glass blocks.
EG 400 right on cue. Goes in and greens a wide open shot. Now you've got a 5-point deficit for Slight Work with about 3:40 left to go in the third.
Yeah, the one thing I love about EG is his ability to play in transition, and we're going to see it again here. That's just what he does. He's a great transition player. He played with Ant for all those years. He just knows how to move.
I know if EG 400 was ever on Tinder in Byron, Illinois, Dirk would swipe right. Shout out to Dirk in the chat.
You know, this Reloaded team is so interesting because we've been watching a lot of them over the past couple months, just seeing them get into finals, kind of move through it, and it's so impressive kind of how this whole team has come together. I wouldn't say they have any elite prospects outside of maybe Polo. You know, Josh is pretty good, Haamicide's a nice player, EG as well. But this team is just a lot of chemistry and a lot of IQ, and you're seeing it on display.
Jaden tried to take that midi, but that one wasn't going to go. I agree with you 100%. It's kind of like, hey, you don't have the name, but that doesn't matter. Can you go and bring your gameplay? And so far, they played pretty well because they're going against some top 2K League pros.
Away team foul. Number 24.
About an 8-point lead here.
Personal foul.
What do you think it is that Slightworks needs to do? Man, I am a little surprised that they are down 8. Obviously, we've got plenty of basketball left to play. Seemo's going to try to make something happen with 12 seconds. But what do you think is lacking on Slightworks' end?
Well, it doesn't even seem like there's much lacking for Slightwork. I think obviously a few too many turnovers. But what Reloaded's doing a great job is that they are just cashing in on their opportunities. They're having good fouls. They're getting points off of turnovers. They're hitting their threes in transition. These are just the things you need to do to start playing with momentum, and they've done a really good job of it so far. I'll be interested to see, you know, how does this Reloaded team handle, you know, a fourth quarter against a team like Slightwork, even with a big lead? Because, you know, if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile.
Oh, they absolutely will, the greedy individuals. But I'm interested to see, like you said, can they go ahead and step up and close out games? Because having a lead is nice, but again, you're going up against pros and right on cue to give up a 3, make it a 5-point ball game.
Yeah, it's a great shot there from Jaden. Kind of an underrated prospect, gone to the league last year. Wonder if there's a spot for him in Season 5.
What do you think would be a good fit?
Could be anywhere. Could be with the Cavs with Fab.
I'm interested with Zay goes there, by the way. Because that could be a nice little setup. I think Fab would mentor Zay. I mean, Zay, one of the best locks here that we have in the prospect.
Yeah, we'll see him on Defiance later today. They're playing against Deception.
You know, what's great about these prospects is the fact that coaches and GMs get to watch you play on stage and how you read, how you react. Because we've already seen a few players kind of need a little bit of space.
Shot. Nasty.
Because some people are just afraid to shoot the ball here when they're wide open.
This Reloaded team is just shooting the lights out right now. EG is playing out of his body right now.
He sure is, and that's exactly what we expect. Dirk out there cheering him on, like we said, and Ramo gets it back to easy too. Now, let me ask you this, since we're talking about EG 400. Do you believe he should have been in the league last season? Because I thought maybe he could have been a nice little fit for the Wizards, but hey, it's not like they did bad, right? They won the championship. Shout out to Patrick Dayfry, JVM and company.
You know, I think it's all about kind of those 50-50 picks, right? And I think that's what EG really was last year. And that's what a lot of these picks come down to. It's you versus another guy, and it just doesn't go your way with the 50-50. I mean, you can say that about dozens and dozens of players over the years. But, you know, I wouldn't say that EG should have gotten drafted last year. But I do know this, that if he did get into the league, he would have performed at a good level.
Yeah, I mean, you could talk about Fana in that space as well, right? Especially with the way that the two-guard build was. Fana is someone that could have really excelled at that. It'll be interesting to see what his journey's like. Unfortunate exit for Fanta in round 1 as Fab trying to cut down the deficit a little bit more. Tries to get it to Ramo. 13 seconds left. Here's the reset back to Fab. Look for the split, and Fab with the wide open. Where'd that defender go? Didn't even follow him to the right corner.
That man got lost in the trees. He was daydreaming.
I don't know if he saw Casper or Ghost or what happened there, but man, that man was starstruck, I'll tell you that much. Didn't follow Fab whatsoever, and that right corner didn't pinch up at all. See him trying to make something happen. You've got Ramo already getting close to that double-double, just 1 point away from it, and that one's going to go out of bounds. Reloaded ball.
Yeah, this Reloaded team is playing almost exactly how you want to play slight work. Have them play at your tempo. You got to hit your threes, and you got to force turnovers. They're doing a great job for all three right now.
It's going to be very tough to have a pro like
great
Fab.
pass. Wow.
That was a
Beautiful.
As he goes ahead, and that's what I want to see. You have the open shot, take it, green it. EG400 is doing what a lot of other guards that we've seen so far.
Seem has been such a monster this year, being able to create shots for other people off the dribble. He's been able to do that so well. His playmaking has come far this year.
There's Fab making defenders jump at the left corner, the left hash, and finally has a wide open shot, top of the key.
I thought Fab was bad. I was told Fab was bad.
I don't know. I think that one individual was just pissed off that Fab took some money from a wager or something like that. I'm not quite sure.
Clearly.
Slight work, only down 5. We got about 30 seconds left in the third quarter. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Gets it out to EG400 with Badge. Threw a grenade. That was going to be early. Offensive board, though. Polo trying to make something happen.
Oh, got it with the fake.
And he's got a wide open man. You saw that? They went for the steal. They did it too quick, out of position. Wide open man, green.
Great job by Polo staying in that low block and waiting for the corner defender to go open. A lot of times you'll see those centers kind of drift into the paint and get that 3 in the key. Nothing there for Polo. That was a smart play.
Folks in the chat asking, yes, this is going to be a best of 3. You've got Jaden, 5 seconds left, trying to make something happen. Tries to get it up to Ramo, and Ramo's not going to be able to do anything with that one. Thought he could have just tried to create a shot for himself there.
Yeah, man, this Reloaded team, just their ability to create shots off the dribble, whether it's Seem, whether it's EG, Polo's playing great on the playmaking front. When this, like we talked about this, when this team is grooving, they are tough to beat.
You know who I'm upset we don't have a chance to watch here live?
Who?
Negdo.
Ah.
Think how much fun that would be. Oh, and Hitachi as well.
I don't think we need to see someone lose by 100 at the UPA World
Neg Dog, his words, not mine.
I don't think we need the, We're good. We don't need 100 games.
It'd be entertaining to watch Neg Dog on stage, I'll tell you that much, as Polo is going to try to reset the ball.
He's not on
here.
the popper. I got excited.
No, he's not. No, he's not here. Sorry to let you down there. As you got EG400 with the open shot. Oh, a little bit of hesitation there. I thought he could have made that one. Has an open shot again, and he's still hesitating.
Got him again.
Not that time, as that one's not going to go, but there's another offensive board by Polo, something he's been doing all pre-draft as he gets it back to EG400. He said, forget the open shot. I'm taking the dunk, guaranteed buckets, up by 10.
Yeah, even then with Reloaded, right? Like, there's a lot of, slow it down, patience. It's just them trying to get into their offense. Even though EG did kind of, hold up on those 2 shots, still got, through their offensive progression, still got through it all, and still got an easy bucket.
We saw Ramo barking up a storm. Let's go ahead and see what Reloaded has to say, and let's take that live listen in.
That's me. I got you. I can't reach either, too, y'all. I got 4. That's me. I got 4.
I'm going for you, bro. There's no time left.
Corner switch.
Control the clock, team.
Oh, yeah, Steve!
That's a fucking kill.
I'm left. Hold on, I'm left.
Go left.
I'm going. I'm here.
Steal!
This is it.
Don't jump.
Nothing. Come on.
Oh, no, head corner.
Damn.
I'm going, bro. Tell me to go.
Hey, no.
You got a foul there. We're good, bro.
Josh can't foul.
I can't foul. I got 4. I gotta go through.
Control the clock.
I got the help side. Screen.
God.
That's my fault. Slip it. It's too far.
Out of bounds.
We need that,
The
Josh.
ball goes to the away
We
team.
need that. Wide open. We need that.
I'm gonna get it back. I gotta get back on defense, bro. We're going back and forth, though. Shit bad.
Hit my wing. Fuck is he doing?
That's me. I got that.
Hey, that's too free right now. It's too free right now. He just hit it.
Pick coming.
read. Good board, good board. Good
Bro,
shit.
bro, I know, bro.
Good shit.
Fucking no.
Hey, I got stop for it.
Dog, let's go, man.
Left.
Hold on, stay right.
No,
Come
stay.
on. Hold on,
Go left, go left, go left. Figure it out, figure it out. Bro.
Yo, that's crazy, bro.
He's ass, he's ass, he's ass, he's
Yo,
ass.
listen, bro. He's chilling, but that's crazy, bro.
Easy. I'm always going stack shot, though. Just go immediately, bro.
Just remember, hey, if it's long like that and you're there,
Josh is
I'm
gonna
faster
choke
than
me, bro.
I'm faster than you, though. I can get there, bro.
Fuck out this weak ass press,
Damn, it made me move. Do we have a foul?
Yeah, we do. Get
Full team foul.
Hey, yo, see if you use another one. See if you use another one. See if y'all get another one, bro. See if y'all get another one, bro.
I'm gonna try and get a
First team foul.
Yeah.
Hold that one. Don't let him out. Fuck.
I got your corner.
Get shit.
What the fucking
That's
ball?
a steal.
I'm
That's a
here.
steal.
We're good.
Up top.
Stay.
We gotta move our feet, though.
He can't shoot. Come on.
He can't shoot.
We got blessed.
He cannot shoot. I ain't gonna lie. He's shitting the bed right now, bro. We gotta be better on rotations, though.
Hell yeah. That's me. I'm not.
Hey, Tom's on our side, too. We don't gotta rush shit.
Bro, go. Control the game, bro. Y'all good, bro.
Team don't need me.
They gonna play out of their body, too, bro.
Stay down.
What the fuck, bro?
You want me to stay down still?
Take it. Give me that. Whoa, take. I got it. I'm gonna take it. All right.
Damn, bro.
We good, bro. We got time on our side. I'm gonna control the game, bro. We good.
Still got scores,
That's not a
team.
good shot.
What's up,
Not a good shot.
Go through.
They about to start pushing.
I don't know about you, Harris, but it wasn't a lot of trash talking there on that listening. But what are your
pass.
thoughts on that one?
Wow. But my thoughts is honestly just so many smart, patient possessions coming in from this reloaded offense. They're slow, meticulous. Even if they don't hit the open shot, they're grinding so much time off of the clock that it's hard for Slight Work to even make a comeback because there just isn't enough time. Sure, that's a great three, but now you're down 7 with a minute to go. This reloaded team is playing a perfect game against a good team of veterans.
Bring your game, not your name, as it's a 7-point lead now for Reload. About 1:05 left. Hami in the chat saying, hey, he wants to see Liquid, man. He wants to see Seldom play.
Couple updates for the people at home. Vile finished off their sweep of Doccation. They will play Liquid Pro-Am next, and Impact took down Bodega Cats. They have KMT next.
So your Bodega Cats did not advance.
That's okay. The name was better than the team.
My condolences. As you've got Majestic.
Bad turnover.
Yeah, you just got to limit those, especially when you've got the lead like that. But regardless, you can't give the ball to Fab. With this of a game, if you will, he's trying to find a little bit of space, top of the key, nothing there. He's got to take away a fadeaway shot as he tried there.
bad pass.
Unfortunately, bailed out to the right corner.
Good job by
and
EG.
that's not going to work out.
EG stayed home on that one. He definitely had the option to pull up on Fab and try to double him, but he stayed at home and got the smart steal.
Yeah, he already had the contest there at that, and I'm glad EG didn't try to go down on that one. But you've got 23 points for that man, EG. 5 for 10 from the three-point line.
Yeah, 12 of 22 from 3, and that's kind of the difference right now, right? 12 made threes to 9 made threes. Sometimes it's just that simple. They've been more efficient on offense. They've been more effective in not turning the ball over. They just keep getting so much value out of these late-game possessions. It's been a good game so far for Reloaded.
Seem looking to milk the clock as much as possible. 30 seconds on the game clock, 7 seconds on the shot clock. Already got a 7-point lead. Looking to add to it is Polo. And he's going to get back to EG 400. Just stack them on. Just let it rain, EG.
EG is on one today, man. He is hitting everything.
He is here to make a statement about being snubbed in Season 4. Trying to make a case for himself. Here is Jaden looking to make something happen.
Whoa.
Gonna get stripped as he tried to go up with that one. 14 seconds left in this game.
They're gonna hold on
but
to the
it's
ball.
pretty much
He shot it.
decided.
Why did you shoot?
You guys,
It doesn't matter.
You're on stage. It's fine, right? It's kind of like when you're up by 2 scores and you're up by, oh my goodness, Fab. That's what we need, by the way. We need Fab to have that type of shot all of game 2.
I was told that Fab was bad, but no, just a good game from Reloaded. You know, that's what we're talking about, right? You know, people ask us, you know, what is chemistry on stage? What is this idea of playing together as a team? That's what it is on offense. Slow, patient possessions, trusting your teammates, allowing them to make moves off the ball and getting themselves open, knowing that the guy next to you is going to do their job and you can be more effective on offense because of it. You saw the trust that Seem had in EG. You saw the trust that Polo had in his other 2 front court members. That was a perfectly played game by Reloaded.
Let me ask you this. If you're Slight Work, you've already seen what EG 400 can do.
Yeah.
Are you telling your defense, hey, if we're going to go ahead and lose and if we're going to go ahead and get swept, it better be ball-like scene that's going to take us out of this tournament.
No, I don't even think it's a defensive problem that they're having. I just think they need more effective offensive possessions. I think their efficiency was all over the place that time. They couldn't get good three-point shots. They couldn't get Ramo going down low. He obviously had a good game, but it just wasn't exactly everything they needed. Plus, you didn't really hear a lot about competing. You didn't hear a lot about Majestic on the offensive end because they weren't hitting those corners. Good job by Reloaded sticking on those guys. We know that Fab loves to play make. They've been giving him a lot of options so far.
We will have that game 2 coming up for you here shortly, but let's get an update. You talked about how Vile went ahead and swept Outcation. Do you have any idea who they're going to hear play next? That is Vile.
Yes, Vile will be playing Liquid Pro-Am next. So we have a lot of people in the chat saying they want to watch Liquid. We will try to find a way to get them on here. Also, Space Jam also finished off their sweep, like I said before, so they will take on No Tolerance. So the teams that we are still waiting on in terms of the play-in, Pharaoh versus Out the Mud. Denial took down NLMB, so they will be taking on Built for this no matter what. As well as Bench All-Stars taking on the Flats and 5. That will decide who plays greatness on the PlayStation side. And then on the Xbox side, High Cal and Breakout, we're still waiting for that series to finish. And then, of course, we have Liquid Bucket taking on Lone Wolves. That's No Cap's team and JBM.
You had flipped of script, tried to make something happen, but couldn't change a dime. But, hey, getting first rounded, it's okay. Enjoy Vegas. Built for this, man. That's going to be an interesting team. But I want to go ahead and see what happens, by the way, with Liquid Pro-Am. In terms of Seldom, do you expect him to show out and ball out? Because he's done that a little bit in Dallas, right, with the UPA event. He's done that in LA on the league build of Season 4. What are you expecting from Seldom here?
I am expecting Seldom to have the same intensity he always does. Now, this is one of the things that I love about guards this year. We always talk about skill gap when it comes to guard. The #1 skill gap when it comes to me at guard is how you control the tempo of the game. And sure, Seldom has obvious scoring issues that I think if he wants to be really effective in the league, he needs to figure out. But in terms of his overall style, you are always playing at Seldom's pace. And that is such a powerful thing to have as a point guard. And you look at the other point guards in the league that do that. JBM does that. Charlie does that. 630 did that last year, though he was on the other side. He just played everybody really fast. So Seldom, we need some more scoring out of him. Glizzy is great, but if you want to win a tournament like this, he needs to average 15 to 20. It can't just be this 8-point, 8 assists, 6 turnover jargon, Glizzy saving them with 15 in the second half. We can't have that. We need Seldom to show up today and bring that scoring along with his pace.
I am so glad you brought that up because as much as I love the Seldom mindset of, hey, I've got a great 2 guard, I'm going to pass him the rock and win. Well, you may not have that in the league.
Yeah.
You may have to go ahead and carry the load on the offensive side, and that's what coaches want to see. Hey, great, you can pass. Hey, great, you're not a selfish player, and you're selfless when it comes to having the ball because there's only one to go around. But when I need you to dominate, when I need a shot out of you with 5 seconds left, are you that guy for me, or is it the man that's not even draft eligible? You know what I mean?
It's difficult. And, Seldom's a really good player, and as you can kind of tell from our chat, he is a very polarizing player, that's for sure. But I think the one thing that you can't take away from him is how often he and this team have won. We can just ignore just Seldom, for instance. This whole Liquid team is really, really good together, right? Seldom going along with Glizzy in the backcourt. Bag Motion has been one of the best risers we've had this year. Merc along with Plo. They've been playing really well in the front court. So we just have to figure out which Liquid team are we going to see. Are we going to see the Liquid team that we saw go up against Reload in the WR Finals and beat them? Or are we going to see the Liquid Pro-Am that had a wager last week, had a 26-point second-half lead, and blew it and started shrieking at each other for the rest of the stream? So we don't really know which Liquid we're going to get, but man, oh man, are they they are an electric bunch.
There's 2 people I want to talk about here. Merc, I want to see if Merc puts his feet up again, if he has that type of performance, if his team has that type of success. But let's talk about Bag, and we'll dive into him a little bit more. This is his opportunity. I feel like Bag, people might say, oh, you need 1 more year of production. We need 1 more year to see that you're consistent, this, that, the other, knick-knack, whatever. But this is his chance to say, hey, I can play on the big stage.
Yep.
I can play among the best of the best, and I can take on the best guards that are in the league, and I can slow them down just enough for my point guard to take over. Really interested to see Bag and any other prospect here make a statement with all the coaches around.
Yeah, there are a lot of locks in this year's class that could potentially go in the draft, whether it's, especially the rookies, right? Zay, we're all talking about as a top 3 pick. You have Stick, who's being mocked as high as 4 to the Bucks. But then you have Bag, who kind of gets left in this awkward middle ground between those top end guys and the unretained guys. Yep. Maybe a high second-round pick for Bag. If he goes off in this tournament, he is an easy first-round pick to me. He has the comms, he has the personality, he has the skill set, he has the thumbs too, but we just need to know, because this is huge when it comes to locks. We saw this with Awkward, right? When the chips are down, what kind of player are you?
Not just that.
What kind of player are you when the
not
chips
just
are down?
I'm glad you brought that up, because not just on the controller, but verbally, right?
Yeah.
When you've got 5 seconds left, when you've got maybe a 2-point ball game with a minute left to go in the fourth quarter, where is your mouth? Are you yapping away telling me, hey, here's what the comms are going to be. Here's what the play we're running. Here's what I'm going to do on defense. Are you communicating? Because that's what the best locks like your Just Awkwards and your Crushes do. They communicate. So many times we take a listen into a team, dead silent. 30 seconds in the game, finals, MPBA, gauntlet, dead silent. Locks not even talking.
The one thing that I do want to see with this Liquid team, and Vile might not be the best matchup in terms of like getting the most out of them, because I think that they should be able to handle Vile pretty easily, but I want to see what happens when Liquid's really challenged. I want to see what happens when they're down 10 in the fourth quarter and they need to come back and win by 2. I want to see what happens when they have to take an 8-point lead or an 8-point deficit in the second half and win over the course of 2 quarters. They're going to be put in a lot of situations where they're going to have to play good, smart, situational basketball. And I've seen that at times that they can break down during those big situations. So a lot of pressure today is on their coach, Coach Juice, who he is quite the figure, especially on Twitter, always calling people out, backing up his players. He's definitely passionate, but they're going to need a steady head today. They're going to need somebody to keep them focused, keep them locked in, to make sure that everybody can keep their head.
And that's exactly what a coach is for. One team that I don't believe has a coach but doesn't need a coach is going to be No Tolerance. I mean, this team has won the WR Finals, the MPBA Finals in Harris, pre-draft, $15,000, UPA-sponsored Fall Classic in Dallas, Texas. They went ahead and won. So when it comes to pre-draft, in-person event, who's won it? It's been No Tolerance 1-2 punch of Season Riggs.
Just an absolutely devastating team when it comes to not even just the offensive side, when it comes to the defensive side. I mean, they have Crush, Putback, Hezzy, Rigby. I mean, what? Like, how do you even put together a team like that and also keep that team together throughout the entirety of pro? And we've seen so many teams come and go where they've had a couple good months, then they blow up and everybody's on another team. This No Tolerance team has been together since the beginning. If anything, they got better because they had Icy in there for a while, and then Crush comes in, and then they don't stop winning at all. They won like $10,000 this year.
Yeah, you can't get anything better than Crush. I'm being told we've got the bracket. So you've heard about the teams. Now let's go ahead and check out who they're playing, when they're playing, and what they're going up against. So let's throw those brackets up if we can. Here's what do you see on the left-hand side of your bracket there? You've got Space Jam there. Now that's a team that we've talked about a little bit with Demon JT coming out, balling out, showing out as well. And you've got Denial on that bottom left. But what do you see on that left side?
Yeah, we're slowly but surely starting to fill in the gaps a little bit. The last first-round game that we haven't played yet is that Farewell game versus Out the Mud. I expect Farewell to likely win that game. But, it's interesting, right? You kind of look all the way down. All the favorites won. No upsets so far in the first round. So now you have to wonder, now are we going to start seeing the upsets? We've kind of moved on from the PS5 teams that have really struggled this year. They haven't been all that good. They've been this, and that. What is it going to be like when we get No Tolerance versus Space Jam? Or, Built for This versus Denial? Like, what's going to happen when these top 8 seeds start getting met on their court against a really good team?
Yeah, let's take a look at the right-hand side. Phantom Troop. I mean, I'm trying to look at this bracket, right? And I'm trying to see which team is going to go ahead and give Phantom Troop the most challenge. If you have to pick one team, just give me one team that you believe will be a contender for Phantom Troop, who would it be?
Instead of Phantom Troop?
I understand they got to beat themselves. I get that, but I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and take a look at another bracket while you think about that.
I'll give you
your
the
answer.
The
Go
answer
ahead.
is Denial, because they just have so many league players. If Reezy and Screddy get hot, I mean, they could go anywhere.
Hey, a little reunion for the 76ers there, if you will. Kind of, sort of, mixed match a little bit there. But let's go ahead and take a look at the other bracket. You've got Greatness that we've talked about already, missing their star point guard, but they have somebody stepping in for them. What do you see on the right-hand side? We've already talked about Liquid a little bit as well.
Yeah, so on the right side of the bracket, I kind of like down there that 6 versus 11, that Defiance versus Deception game. That Deception team is really, really good. They have Jide in there, the 2 guard. He's been on fire recently. But that Defiance team, they're kind of my pick to win this whole thing. Because when you start going down the roster, Zay, Crown, Don in the front court, and then you have the 2 kids. Okay, you got the 2 kids. You got Claude and you got Benzo, who just play like absolute, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say crackheads on air, but man, do they play that way. It is crazy. Their ability to dex off the ball, create their own shots off the dribble, cause chaos in transition. They are so good for their age. And it's kind of crazy that, like, there are a lot of good prospects in this year's class, India, but, like, you could probably argue that Benzo and Claude are as good as any of them.
Yeah, and you can't forget about Gliz, right? Another individual who obviously is not draft eligible, but yeah, first round, #1 pick, Mavs, that's where he would go if he was. But I'm just curious if Benzo and Claude have Crown as their chaperone. I'm not sure what that situation is. Hopefully they went and signed their consent forms. But let's go ahead and take a look at the left side of that bracket. Now, you've already talked about Denial. I agree. Walnut, Reezy, you're going to have a great game from them. But that No Tolerance team in Space Jam, you expect an upset there? Or do you believe No Tolerance moving on, no question whatsoever?
You know, if there's a real team that was actually going to give No Tolerance a run for their money this early, it was probably going to be Space Jam. Just, a good veteran team, smart players, Gilly down low to go along with Deeds. They got Reese up top. It's just a good quality NBA or NBA 2K League veteran team. But the issue is that they're veterans.
Right.
Okay, they got a lot of people who aren't in the league anymore. This No Tolerance team, you could argue every player that they have is top 5 of their position in the league. I mean, this is a nasty, nasty bunch. People have been talking about No Look versus No Tolerance for months now about who's going to be the favorites coming out of this tournament. I wonder if we're still on that crash course.
We're going to find out. By the way, chat, Harris thinks it's going to be Defiance that's going to win it all. If you agree or disagree with them, let me know in the chat what you believe. But let's go ahead and move on to the other console. A console that Harris is not the biggest fan of. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Xbox side. This is a bracket where, hey, it's about quality over quantity. Now, we've already talked a little bit about No Look, so we've given them a whole bunch of love. We've got 5 superstars there, 3 of them coming from the Timberwolves, tip-off champion in Season 3. But let's go ahead and see. If you get High Cal, go ahead and advance, because I believe they're playing Breakout at the moment. Looks like Game 2 might be going to Game 3. But who do you see? We've talked about Kiss My Tims. We've talked about ENG, and we've talked about No Look, right? Looking at that bracket, what's the 4th team that you're like, man, this team could go ahead and break the Final Four?
I don't really think there is one. That before the Fame team is pretty good. Like, they have some good talent on it. Kings World's on that team. Again, congrats to him. But in terms of trying to compare them to the other 3 top teams on Xbox, it's just difficult to think that they're actually going to make some sort of impact against them. I mean, we're going to see KMT versus Impact in a little bit later. I don't think anybody thinks that series is going to be close. And even moving up the line, ENG, it could be that Liquid Buckets team, but they would have to get past ENG in order to be, one of those, big-time Final Four teams. They have the talent to beat ENG, but, man, that team's been on fire.
You're telling me Impact Nation is not going to break it to the Final Four?
I would have put money on it. I've been wrong before.
I won't call Grandma and tell her to give me access to her 401k. I promise you on that one.
Maybe keep the money under the mattress.
Yeah, maybe that's what we'll do on that one. But you've got High Cal again taking on Breakout. High Cal won Game 1, Breakout taking the lead here in Game 2. They're at about the halftime trying to figure out their life right at the moment. But that's the bracket that you see. Let us know in the chat who you've got on the Xbox side of things winning this one. If I had to go ahead, I've already said this before, but it is going to be No Look that I'm paying attention to, and you see the teams trying to get ready and locked and loaded. Somebody's missing over there in their chair, a couple of seats. But I'm ready to see and hear Ramo go berserk.
Yeah, I think they need to start getting more energy into it. You saw it in the first half, right? That energy started to go. But what really cracked the Slight Work energy was that huge run that EG went on. He had like 6 straight points, back-to-back threes, start getting them embarking, turnovers. This Slight Work team is too smart to be turning the ball over that much, and that's what killed them in Game 1. If they can get to like 60, 65 points, they're probably going to have won. But when you allow Reloaded to play like that, you don't even deserve to win.
Jaden had a chance to go and play with the 76ers. I'm sure he's looking to get back, and I'm glad he got that experience, by the way. That's awesome to kind of be a pro player. Would you ever want to be a pro player?
No, I'm terrible.
I mean, I know skill set wise you don't qualify. Trust me, you shoot with a meter on the rec. I know that.
I'm pretty comfortable in the caster's booth. Thank you. I'm okay with my biggest concern being, do my knees hurt? Have I been standing up for too long? That's my biggest concern today.
Well, apparently to the chat, we don't utilize our chairs whatsoever.
I'm utilizing my chair currently, chat. So obviously I'm the favorite here.
It should be a fun one here as the teams are getting locked and loaded. I want to see Slight Work get off to a fast and good start. I want to see Fab cook them left, right, hash, get that pick and roll going, get the rotations on point, because you don't want to get down to a deficit. Not like Fab and company can't come back from that, but why go through the hassle? Come off start, have a fast start, get off with a 7-0 lead, if you will, and take it from there and take charge the whole rest of the way.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. I'm excited to see kind of how the Slight Work team adjusts, because this is where we really see, what teams are made of. And, if this Slight Work team wanted to make a run, there's no better time like the present.
You've got Negdog in the chat saying, at least Harris hasn't muted himself. Well, what's crazy about our little setup is Harris and I can actually mute ourselves. I swear to God.
It's really,
you touched that button, I swear.
I'm not sure
okay.
talking.
You can.
Go for under.
Harris, you can mute yourself as much as you'd like, but I swear to God, if you go to mute me on purpose, should Steve, thank you for muting me. I was like, what happened to my mic?
I had to do it once. You set me up for it.
What's the bracket look like? We just spent 10 minutes going over the bracket, but in case you missed it, you can go ahead and look at the Unified Pro-Am Twitter account. Go ahead and give them a follow. The brackets and the updates are all happening live there. For the folks wondering, as we get ready to get tipped off here,